I'm out on the trail this morning on a new Polygon. And if this color scheme looks familiar to you, it's because this is another Cascade 4. Because that last bike, it was a small frame. I didn't even know they were shipping another bike. They asked and offered to send a medium frame, but I said I have all the footage I need for the small frame, and I'm giving it to someone that I can use footage of them riding to get a follow-up. But here it is, a medium Cascade 4. And I'll put a link down in the description to my original Cascade 4 small frame review. Let me give a quick recap. These are 31.8 millimeter diameter bars, very short stem here. These are Entity branded, a lot of Entity components, a house brand for Polygon. Hydraulic disc brakes. Non-branded, but as I talked about in my original Cascade 4 review, very good. Stopped this bike very well. Didn't need to true anything. The rotors were perfect. Brakes properly adjusted out of the box, both the front and the rear, and you'll notice a quick release here for the rear wheel, as well as the quick release on the front wheel. So new, still has a little remnant of the original pull tag, and these wheels 27.5 inch on the Cascade 4. Double wall alloy rims, GA18 branded, with a nice matching color scheme there of this mint green and the orange. And if you watched my most recent live stream, you got to see a Cascade 4 taco the front wheel. Hit totally wrong, tacoed it. I'll see if I can put in a little clip here, but it's an interesting watch, so you may want to go back. I did a kind of a play-by-play on that live stream. It was actually pretty fun, especially considering he didn't get hurt. The rest of the bike made it through that perfectly unscathed. The frame, alloy, aluminum, a non-tapered head tube. That could be one complaint. But the bikes this is competing against, bikes like the Trek Marlin 5, it falls right in line. Only difference being the 27.5 wheels. Fork, also common with bikes in this class. This is an SR Sun Tour with dual preload adjustments up top, 100 millimeters of travel. There you can see the sticker a little askew, but a good support arch, decent seals. There's the tip-off for the 100 millimeters of travel, and this is an XCE 28, that 28 for the size of the stanchions, 28 millimeter. So there we go, that's the wheel set and the frame. Beautiful finish here. Color probably not for everyone, but I like it. I think it's a good color scheme if you're a Miami Hurricane fan like my friend Kurt. This color scheme will be right up your alley, the green and orange. Polygon does nice frames, just like Trek, many of the other bike shop brands. Of course, Polygon, a direct-to-consumer brand. Very nice frames, good welds, dual cage bosses. This drivetrain, let's talk about that. Polymer pedals, the very slippery kind, pedals, something people always change right out of the gate. 170 millimeter crank arms, a stamped and riveted 3x. This is a 3x. You know my feelings on 3x. This is an Altus. I believe this is slightly different than that last one I had, and the specs were a little different than what was listed on their site the last time, but Altus front derailleur going to the back. Shimano Tourney. I won't harp any more on this. You can watch that original review if you want to hear my opinions there. This does have a replaceable hanger and a cassette. 8-speed cassette here at the rear. CSHG 200H. I can't remember the range right off the top of my head of this cassette. I'll put it on the screen. Look it up, but it's more than enough with this 3x to be able to easily climb hills and have enough top end to get up some speed going downhill. One of my main complaints on that small frame Cascade 4, and I guess this is a good thing that I'm nitpicking on stuff like this, but I felt the cables were too long. They poked out. I purposely didn't zip tie this because I want to show you. Zip tied together, these will fit quite well on the frame, so nothing really poking out. And this medium frame, perfect reach and sizing. I'll see if I can put in a couple of clips here, ride-wise. My knees aren't battling my elbows. This is a good fit for me with this 18-inch frame. But as I said at the beginning here, this isn't a frame-by-frame or a shot-by-shot re-review of this bike. There's something special that I'm thinking with this. I think I want to upgrade it. And I need your help to do so. I'm going to give you the chance as a Kev Central viewer to pick a part. You can pick a series of parts. So let me just start out, talk about the drivetrain. This is a 3x as I've just shown, but I like 1x. So I have 3 options. I want you to choose one of these 3 options. well, I guess technically 4 options if you think I should keep this Altus powered 3x up front. But if you want to see it 1x like I do, choose between these 3 options. Option 1, an IXF crankset. I've used those regularly here on the channel to great success, quite a few project bikes. Option number 2, that new JG bike crankset. $39.99 crankset that I buy off Amazon, or I have the Claw. It's a new crankset you haven't seen me use before, but I have quite a few of them stuck back. So pick the path, IXF, JG bike, or the Claw. The most popular choice will be what goes on this bike, or well, technically leave it stock, but I doubt very seriously anybody's going to choose that, or if any, not many. For the rear half of the drivetrain, I'm lucky here because this bike comes with a cassette already, so that opens up a lot of options. What I'm thinking is 3 options here. Option number 1, the Advent X. I have a couple of those laid back. Should I use one of them on this bike? Option number 2, box. For the rear, I have a spare box drivetrain. I can't even remember which one it is. I think it's a Box 3 Prime 9, but I can't be for sure. But there's your option between 2 brand names, the Advent X or box. And for the third option, I'm going to throw an oddball in here just to see how many people pick this and are curious as I am. What about the Pro Rush drivetrain off the TAF? Because I have a spare one of those. So there's your 3 options, Advent X, box, or go Pro Rush. Handlebars. How about 3 options here? Let's try option 1 for the Ace Kit Jessicas, like seen on Project Hydro, Project XR, Project X, and I really like those. But I also have some Corky handlebars. I don't think I've even shown them. Originally slated for use on Project Axum, but I decided to use something else there. So Corky Ace Kit Jessicas, the third choice. The ones that I used on Project Boundary, I think they're called FOMTOR, FM something or another. You can look up the Project Boundary video. Nice bars, equal caliber to the Ace Kit Jessicas, just a slightly different profile. So there's your 3 choices bar-wise. And this one, this is the part that's probably going to stir the most debate amongst choices. This Suntour XCE28, these are okay. Commonly seen on entry-level mountain bikes, great for hard-packed, smooth trails, and even a little bit of bumps they can absorb. But you start riding on much rougher than a little bit, and you're going to quickly want to change them. So, I have a few options here. Option number 1, I have that tapered Suntour XCE that I originally used on Project Comp V2. I could get an adaptable lower headset cup and use that. I'm not a fan of that, going with that external taper. But also, I have a straight steer RockShox Solo Air. I could use that, so that's option number 2. Option number 3, go super cheap, but available. The Bucklos, Balinese, ZTZ, those little air forks that you see on Amazon and eBay and other places for $120, $130. So there's your choices. Actually, I want to throw a curveball in here. Give you a 4th option on this fork. The 4th option, keep this factory fork, at least for a little while, but buy a Slackerizer headset adapter to change the head tube angle on this bike. I could change this with the Slackerizer, but because of that money, I would use this factory fork just to see what it feels like. See how much different it makes. So there's your 4 options. For a fork, choose one of the 4. You do get to pick pedals. Rock Bros, choice number 1. Fuker, choice number 2. See if I can find a color matching Raceface Chester, choice number 3. One more thing, let's add in a wild card. I'm going to give you the option to recommend something that's not in any of those options, or even a change that's not part of the component list that I've given. If it's something good enough and it catches my eye, I may just use that on top of some of the other choices or in place of one of the other choices if it's good enough. So there you go, plenty of options really. The sky's the limit. But I would like you to point out crankset, rear group set, handlebars, fork, and pedals, and then again give you one wild card option. So there you go. Start commenting. The most popular choices will transform this already good Polygon Cascade 4 into a possibly even better bike. Thanks for watching Kev Central and being part of the channel. Be sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it fun or informative. Also, make sure you're subscribed and you have that notification bell active so you don't miss any videos or live streams. Lots of fun on the live streams. I'd like even more of you to take part in those. And also, don't forget I'm giving away a bike on Instagram, Kev Central Official on Instagram. Head over there, follow that. Join in on that giveaway. 3 bikes in 3 months. Have a great day.